Hey YouTube, Keith here. Today we're going to be working on a lanyard attachment point. Now what I have is my SPY 007 flashlight, and it has a very small spot for a lanyard. It comes with a nylon and string lanyard, much like you'd get with a camera. I wanted something a little more substantial, so my two options really were fabricate something or put a split ring in. I didn't like the split ring idea because you have the very real possibility of scratching this little bridge, and it might not allow full range of movement. So I decided to fabricate something. You don't have to have this flashlight for this application. This is just what I have in need of working on. So to build your simple lanyard attachment, all we're going to need is some hand tools, a lighter, shrink wrap, and then I'm using 15-pound test. This is steel-on nylon coated leader line and the appropriate crimp barrels. I've already cut one down just a little bit, used a file and took off some of the length, probably about half. You can see here, hopefully, maybe not. So let's begin. I'm going to start by taking a length of the leader material and cutting it. And this is way more than we're going to need, but I chose this because it's relatively inexpensive. Okay, so we loop it through, and this is going to form the basis of our lanyard. Now what we want to do is cut our shrink tubing to be just a little bit longer than our crimp-on connection. And that looks good to me. So it's maybe twice as long. Zoom in and give you a better view of that. So this is our crimp together barrel, and this is my shrink tubing. Now all I could find was 1/8. It does seem to shrink down enough to secure over the barrel once it's crimped, so that should be good enough. Alright, so then we thread on the barrel and the tubing. Okay. So then we take our, I'm going to zoom in again. So take the other end of our leader, put it through the shrink tubing, and through the barrel. So what we're going to end up with is a loop there. Now we take probably this long end and we run it through the shrink tube in the barrel. I'm going to expand my loops here just so I can see what I'm doing. Alright, sorry about that. Getting some text messages. So now all we have to do is snug up our loops to whatever size we desire. Sorry about that, guys. Text messages and the dog started barking. So here we have our leader line and the loops, and all that's really left to do is to snug up and get those loops down to the size we want. I'm thinking right about there looks pretty good. Now, the disadvantage when we're working with this tight area is I can't move the shrink tube around, so it's going to take some abuse. But it should hold up. I'm going to take my Leatherman pliers. Make sure the loops are how I want them. And just give a crimp. And we'll keep doing this down the length of that little barrel that we have. Okay, so there we go. It's all crimped up and ready to be finished. Now what I'm going to do is take my clippers and I'm going to get down inside there and I'm going to snip this loose end. Okay, and then I'm going to do it on the other side. There we go. And all that is left to do is apply a little bit of heat here. Get that shrink tube to shrink. There we have it. Now our lanyard attachment is secure, and we can take one of our gizmo clips or just a piece of lanyard material. Now we can take and put a gizmo clip on there, or just a piece of paracord if that's what we want. That clip off there. Or just a piece of paracord. Or just tie a length of paracord. There we go, guys. Alright, hopefully we found that a little bit entertaining and somewhat educational. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.